Welcome back. It is Sunday, July 30th in the MLB. 4 picks coming your guys' way. It's Austin, joined by Logan. Let's recap yesterday, a minor profitable day, and let's talk about it. Nationals money line was our big winner of the day. Great call, Logan. Well, plus 150. They could bring back 1.5 units for us. You also the under in the first 5 for the Angels game, and then my first 5 same game parlay cash. We had no luck on the hit parlays, and then I can't even talk to you about that Mariners D-backs overnight. Mariners went over 11 runners in scoring position. Terrible, but 3 and 3 day. Back-to-back profitable days, minor profit. Hey, we will not complain with that. We got 4 picks. Let's try to go 3-1, maybe 4-0 to wrap up the week going into the new week. But Logan, we won't have any dinger plays today. It is Sunday, so sometimes you see as the stars rested, and we don't want to give out a play that a guy gets rested and then pinch hits at the end. So we got 4 plays. Logan, I'll let you lead it off. You had a good day yesterday, going 2-1 on your 3 plays. Where are you going today?
Yeah, I'm going back to one of the games, early start time in this one, so you definitely want to get your bets in. Going to the Angels and Blue Jays game, and I'm taking the over 9.5 total runs in this one, minus 105 odds on DraftKings, currently your best value. Now, the first 5 under did treat us great yesterday. The full game over, though, is going to be my play today. I know what I saw yesterday, and to say there were some stranded base runners yesterday is an understatement. Even though you look at the box score and you're like, that first 5 under wasn't all that sweaty. There's plenty of base runners. It could have easily been sweaty. Look at the Angels. They went 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position yesterday, 12 left on base. Toronto went 0 for 5 runners in scoring position, 8 left on base. Now look, every time I pick an over, it's just a stranded base runner fest. It's just a runners in scoring position stranded fest. I mean, the Mariners just made me laugh yesterday with how many they stranded. So the funny thing about this pick is I'm prepared for the runners in scoring position to be stranded. So any actually runs that come across the plate are bonus runs to me in this one. But I do really like the over, and we're looking at Jose Barrios starting for the Blue Jays in this one. 3.4 ERA and a 1.19 whip for Barrios in 51 plate appearances. The Angels have a 391 batting average against Barrios with a 364 expected batting average and an 878 expected slugging. Those numbers are absolutely ridiculous. And this is an Angels lineup that they've just been up and down most of the year. It's hard to find consistency with this offense, but Barrios had 4 walks in back-to-back starts. Yesterday, we saw Alek Manoah putting on free base runners via walk and hit by pitch. That's scary hit by pitch for Taylor Ward. I hope he's doing all right. But the Angels just couldn't capitalize yesterday. It's not like they didn't have the opportunities. And when I'm picking baseball, I have to go on opportunities. I don't swing the bats for them at the end of the day. And we look at this Angels team. They should have opportunities to get those runs across the plate. They're 6th in runs, 1st in hits on the road this year. This is a good offense on the road. They just haven't really been playing like it. They're against Jose Barrios today. They should be able to get those run opportunities. Can they convert them into runs? I sure hope so. Now, on the other side, we've got Tyler Anderson starting for the Angels. 5.23 ERA and a 1.55 whip for Tyler Anderson. This is a guy I want to fade. He's definitely, I mean, look at that ERA. It's high. That whip is also high. Anything over above a 1.5 whip is just, I'll fade that. Anderson's coming off a game where he gave up 8 hits and 4 earned runs to the Pirates. I mean, that was at home start. That was it's supposed to be a good outing for him on paper. He just definitely did not have it. Surely the Blue Jays can do some damage against a guy like that that's getting hit around by the Pirates. Toronto hitting .314 versus lefties this month. That's 2nd in the majors. And also, they're also 2nd in OPS versus lefties this month. So you look at that, you're like, the Blue Jays should be able to bring the bats today. They should be able to get some hits and runs up on Tyler Anderson. In 73 plate appearances, Toronto's hitting .262 versus Tyler Anderson. They've seen him before, and they've hit him before decently. And then if we look in the late game, neither starting pitcher yesterday went deep. They had to use some bullpen arms for sure. Manoah and Detmers didn't go far into that game. So what the question is, which relievers are going to be available for each team? I don't exactly know. Of course, we don't know the bullpen strategy, but what we do know is they're not at full strength. There should be run opportunities late in this one. I think that's why we see that 9.5 total. The books know what they saw yesterday with a ton of runners on base. They just couldn't convert them. I think they do convert them for us today. I'm going to go ahead and take the over full game as my first pick. But Austin, what are you going with today?
Yeah, and Logan, I love the pick. I really hope they don't strand a ton of base runners like they did yesterday. But either way, that's been our luck on over-unders. But for me, I'm going to actually a team total under, and we're going to a scary place. It's going to be Coors Field. I'm taking the Athletics team total under 6.5, currently minus 125 on DraftKings. I don't see this going down to 6. It could, and maybe FanDuel, who doesn't have a line right now as we record this, doesn't have a line, but I don't see them putting one at 6. If it is there, I don't mind it there, but obviously the 6.5, if you can get that, take that up to probably about -130, -135. But let's talk with this one because I did consider the full game under here. However, I do think that that Luis Medina is due for a rocky start, and no pun intended, because over his last 2 starts, he's only allowed 1 earned runs. That was against 2 great offenses, the Astros and the Red Sox, and now he gets a Rockies offense that is not as talented as those 2 offenses. So he'll probably give up like 6 earned runs. And that's why I want to avoid betting on the Rockies too, because we could see it's Coors Field. I'd rather count on one team to not score a lot of runs than ask for both teams, because we know the ball could fly out of the ballpark. But you look through 2 games so far in this series, Athletics have won both of them, and they have won them pretty convincingly, scoring 8 and 11 runs. Can they duplicate that performance today and put up another 7+ run game? They've only done it once this season where they scored 7+ runs in 3 straight. That was at home against the White Sox. And I just don't see it happening today. Now, you look at who's going to start for the Rockies. It's going to be Ty Black. Now, he is a relief pitcher. He's not going to go far in this game. Yeah, enters with a 5.51 ERA and a 1.71 WHIP. His first couple, outings this season were not good, but his last 3 have been promising. You look at the last 3 combined: 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, and 0 earned runs. He faced a very good Marlins team that's good at hitting lefties in his last start and still did pitch well against them. They couldn't really hit him well. And look, at the last 2 games, Athletics have been getting free base runners. They got a lot of them from Chris Flexen yesterday. And this is a team that's been putting up a lot of runs early in the game. You saw them score 5 and 6 runs through the first 2 and 3 innings the last 2 games. So if Flack can come out here, get us a good start to this one, not give up, 6 earned runs in the first couple innings, I think we had a chance here. So we look at after him, they're going to bring in the relievers, and you could say the relief pitching for the Rockies has not been good over the last 2 games, and you'd be right, but they also haven't been playing any other good guys because they've been down in those games. So if we can see the Rockies get some run support, we could see them actually use some of their good arms. You look at Justin Lawrence with a 2.94 ERA, Daniel Bard 2.97. Those are 2 guys I expect to pitch today if the Rockies are close in this game. If they're down by 3 or 4 runs, we're probably already chalked as is. So if those guys can come in, I like them a lot better than the other guys they've been putting out there. Connor Seabold probably comes in too, and he's always capable of giving up a run or 2. But given a line at 6.5 for an Athletics team, I just don't trust to be consistently getting 10, 12, 14 hits per game, which we've seen them do so far this series. And we look at the A's, like I said, 22nd in batting average, 20th in OPS in the month of July. This is still an offense I'm fine fading. If they want to stick 7 runs to my dome once again, that's fine, but it's still Coors Field. I know the ball will fly out of there, but I just don't think the Athletics are the ones scoring a lot of runs today. So I'll happily fade them, take their team total under 6.5, limited away from the Rockies, who could score some runs up against Medina. I root for the full game under because that would be my next lean, but I'd rather just fade the Athletics. Hopefully they score less than 7 runs today. They can get the win for all I care, but taking the Athletics team total under 6.5 runs is my favorite play. But Logan, we have a third one. It's going to be a first 5 same game parlay. I know you give out a couple pivots. We really like this one. I'll let you tackle it. Where are we going today?
Yeah, the first 5 same game parlay is normally your style, but I do really like this one. We're going to the White Sox Guardians game. We're taking the White Sox plus 2.5 and the over 3.5 first 5 same game parlay, -112 odds on FanDuel. There are a couple pivots for you. You want to look at Savale over 2.5 earned runs. That was my initial play, but after kind of discussing with Austin, we think this one's safer and it actually has more value. You could also take the White Sox on the first 5 money line or run line, depending on how bold are you feeling in that one. I think the White Sox do make it competitive through 5 innings. So those are a couple pivots. As I mentioned, my initial read was Savale over in earned runs. But at -130 juice, I'm not going to go with that. I think we can actually rely on Kopech to pitch decently in this one. We're looking at Kopech for the White Sox, 4.44 ERA and a 1.42 WHIP. The Guardians will get some hits and runs up on Kopech, but I don't think they just run him early in this game. I don't think they absolutely blitz him, because we look at in 48 plate appearances, the Guardians only have a 133 batting average against Kopech, so they haven't really hit him all that well. They've seen him before, and they haven't had success. Kopech now, he allows home runs and walks. Just depends on the start. In his last start, it was a home run game. 3 home runs allowed. In his last start, only 1 walk. The start before that, only 1 home run allowed, 4 walks. He's just one of those erratic pitchers that you don't really know what you're getting in this one, but I think he definitely will contribute towards the over and runs in the first 5. So Cleveland, 9th in batting average with runners in scoring position this month. I think the run opportunities will be there for the Guardians. The question is, can they convert them? I think they can at least get a couple runs up on Kopech, which is kind of what we need for this same game parlay. And then we look at the other side, and this is the reason I'm tackling it. It's because Aaron Savale starts for the Guardians, 2.54 ERA and a 1.06 WHIP. I'm primarily fading Savale in this pick in 107 plate appearances the White Sox only hitting, the White Sox are hitting 337 against the Valley, which is just ridiculous. That's a crazy average because they've seen him a ton and they've had success versus him. The White Sox are finally consistently hitting as well, hitting 271 in their last 3 games. Finally starting to trust this offense a little bit. White Sox also hitting 272 with runners in scoring position, which will be key against a ground ball pitcher like Savali. We know he doesn't really get a ton of strikeouts. He's normally a pitch to contact guy. Look at this White Sox offense. I think they can definitely get to him today. Savali hasn't really even been tested. You look at his last few starts against the Royals twice. He's faced the Pirates. I'm just saying this is one of those opportunities that I could see the White Sox getting to him. Facing a hot White Sox offense, I could see danger for him. I will go to my grave on saying Savali's not really a sub 3 ERA type guy. I know, crazy, right? I've seen him plenty. I know what type of pitcher he is, and I think this White Sox offense could put him in danger today, especially through the first 5 innings in this one. That's why we really do like this same game parlay, and I think it stands a really good chance of cashing. But Austin, you know what time it is.
Flags baby, the return of Nerfy Nation. It's Sunday. We're bringing out the flags, baby. And now I do want to make a side note. If you only have White Sox plus 1.5, we like that too. Obviously, we talked about Savali. We think he's the one giving up some runs today. But it's Nerfy Nation time, baby. 6 quick outs. And we have a live stream for this one today. I know you guys love the live streams, except when we lose. We hate those ones, but we really like this one. It's going to be a 1:30. Well, technically, the first pitch is 1:40. We'll be live at 1:30 on YouTube to sweat it out with you guys. You'll see us down bad if it loses. Hopefully, this is a winner, though. Let's talk about it. Tigers and Marlins taking the no-run first inning, which is currently minus 125 on Caesars. Now, if you only have FanDuel as your book, you might want to pass on this one because they got it about minus 154. And look, even if it's, the best pitchers in the world, Nolan Ryan going out there, but no, we can't take a Nerfy at that juice. But minus 125 to minus 140-ish, fine with us there. I think minus 140 is on DraftKings. But let's talk about who's going to lead it off. It's going to be Jesus Luzardo, who we've trusted before, and he's treated us nicely. He'll start for the Marlins. He's 19-2 on Nerfies. He's been very good, and he's Nerfied in 7 straight starts. The Tigers are 22nd in first inning run. They've Nerfied in 5 straight games. Logan, I'll bring you up on the screen. When was the last time the Tigers scored in the first inning? The last time we took their Nerfy. So, look, we need some good vibes. If you want to get extra value, Riley Green to get a hit plus the Nerfy is great odds because Riley Green's always living on base when we take his Nerfies. But we think Luzardo has been so good this year, can get us those 3 outs. Who's pitcher for the Tigers today, Logan?
Yeah, we need Scooble to get us those last 3 outs. As you mentioned, the Tigers can be sometimes annoying in the first inning, but it's a percentage play. Like, we need Jesus Luzardo to be locked in. Scooble should be locked in this one. He's 4-0 on Nerfies. He's Nerfied in 8 straight starts. Going back to last year, Scooble was one of those guys we took Nerfies a lot because he's just one of those pitchers that knows how to navigate first time through the order. He's facing a favorable matchup in the Marlins, 28th in first inning runs. You got the over-under set to 7. It's set low for a reason. We're hoping we can keep those runs out of the first inning. And as Austin mentioned, it will be fun to sweat it out on the live stream. Hopefully we do get a no-sweat Nerfy. But, guys, you've been following Nerfy Nation all year. You know we get anything but no-sweat Nerfies. There will be some base runners. There will be some runners in scoring position. But hopefully we can still fly these flags.
Yeah, baby, we need it. Now, yes, the Marlins are good versus lefties, but we trust that Scooble, who's been very good in the first, can get it done. Let's have a great day, Logan. We've got 4 picks. We'll see you guys live on the live stream at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. Logan and I sweating out the Nerfy live with you all. But let's have a great Sunday. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you guys on the live stream, and we'll see you guys back on Monday for our regular picks. We'll see you guys then. Peace.